Hey you guys, the reason why this video is posted to your wall is because we want to extend you an invitation to come to our new young adults group called The Movement, happening June the 8th, starting June the 8th, smack brand new at First Assembly of God, the Zalmans. God impressed it on our heart to start this young adults movement because this age group is mostly forgot about. You know, there's youth and there's Sunday morning, but there's no age group for just young adults where young adults can gather on with each other and, you know, as iron sharpen iron and just challenge each other. So God impressed it on our heart. We're going to have worship, we're going to have fellowship, we're going to have the preaching of the word. Sometimes we're going to go out and we're going to outreach, we're going to witness. We're just going to be led by the Spirit. So this is your invitation to come to The Movement on June the 8th, starting at 6 o'clock all the way to 9 or whenever God lets us out. This is your invitation to come. Young adults, starting from 17 on up. Even if you're young in spirit, you can be 64, whatever you want. Just come, experience the move of God as we go deeper into the Word. Thank you.
Religious scene today, and all I see are the inventions and ministries of man and flesh. It's mostly powerless. It has no impact on the world. And I see more of the world coming into the church and impacting the church rather than the church impacting the world. I see the music taking over the house of God. I see entertainment taking over the house of God. An obsession with entertainment in God's house, a hatred of correction and a hatred of reproof. Nobody wants to hear it anymore. Whatever happened to anguish in the house of God? Whatever happened to anguish in the ministry? It's a word you don't hear in this pampered age. You don't hear it. Anguish means extreme pain and distress. The emotion so stirred that it becomes painful, acute, deeply felt inner pain because of conditions about you, in you or around you. Anguish, deep pain, deep sorrow, agony of God's heart. We've held on to our religious rhetoric and our revival talk, but we've become so passive. All true passion is born out of anguish. All true passion for Christ comes out of a baptism of anguish. You search the Scripture and you'll find that when God determined to recover a ruined situation, He would share His own anguish for what God saw happening to His church and to His people. And He would find a praying man, and He would take that man and literally baptize him in anguish. You find it in the book of Nehemiah. Jerusalem is in ruins. How is God going to deal with this? How is God going to restore the ruin? Now, folks, look at me. Nehemiah was not a preacher. He was a career man. But this was a praying man. And God found a man who would not just have a flash of emotion, not just some great sudden burst of concern and then let it die. He said, no, I broke down, and I wept, and I mourned, and I fasted, and then I began to pray night and day. Why didn't these other men, why didn't they have an answer? Why didn't God use them in restoration? Why didn't they have a word? Because there was no sign of anguish. No weeping. Not a word of prayer. It's all ruin. Does it matter to you today? Does it matter to you at all that God's spiritual Jerusalem, the church, is now married to the world? That there's such a coldness sweeping the land? Closer than that, does it matter about the Jerusalem that's in our own hearts?